Alright, today we're going to take a look at an older MRE. This is in the tan bag, but it's from the pre-2008 era, when it had the MRE guy, and they only had one bag design. And just to let you know, I'm going to edit this review into two videos, a long version and a short version. The long version will have all my standard talking, and the short version will be chopped up a little bit more to obviously make it a little bit shorter. And this video that you're watching right now is the long version. If you'd prefer to see the short version, check down in the description below for the link to the short one. So let's go ahead and get right to it. This MRE is menu number 11, pasta with vegetables. Definitely one of the more boring sounding MRE names of all time. Just pasta with vegetables, doesn't say anything else. And as mentioned, it's in the older style bag. It's from the tan bag era, but from before 2008 when they switched to the three, relatively new bag designs, and they just had the one design featuring the MRE guy. So this meal was introduced in 1996, so it could conceivably be from anywhere between 1996 and 2007. But by doing a little detective work on MRE.com, we can actually narrow it down quite a bit further. So as I said, menu number 11, pasta with vegetables, was introduced in 1996, the same year the tan bags came out. But, as you can see down here, we have more information. It was made by Sopaco Packaging, and also has the U.S. government property commercial resale is unlawful warning. And that wasn't put on bags until 2001. And even further, we have the flameless ration heater warning, which wasn't added until 2003, which means this must be between 2003 and 2005, because in 2006, menu number 11 became spicy penny pasta. So I was actually kind of looking forward to the mystery, but we do have it narrowed down between 2003, 2004, and 2005 now. And I've actually had this MRE in my possession for almost 5 years now. Just about 5 years ago, a subscriber sent me a package that included this, along with a couple of meal cold weathers. And somehow I just never got around to checking it out until now. So why don't we go ahead and do that. As I said, there's no date code on here, so we're going to have to open it up to find out the exact date. It smells fine inside. It's always worth doing a little sniff check when the MRE's 10 plus years old. And here we have the pasta with vegetables and tomato sauce. And it's kind of funny because on the bag it just says pasta with vegetables. It doesn't indicate that it's one of the tomato sauce based entrees, which there are a lot of. And of course, as I mentioned, this was replaced by spicy penny pasta, a similar vegetarian entree. So here are the ingredients, if you want to check those out. And here are the nutrition facts. And we'll go ahead and figure out when this is from. There's a date code on it of 3163. So the entree was packed on the 163rd day of 2013. So it's from the first year that this could have been from. We also have applesauce, carbohydrate enhanced. And that has a date code on it of 3216, a little bit later in the year. We have a flameless ration heater, as it mentioned on the bag. We also have crackers. These are, actually these are showing some signs of age over here. A little bit of delamination on the corner. And it was packaged off-center. I think it's a little bit closer to the edges, but it's still perfectly vacuum sealed, as you can see. And for the crackers we have peanut butter. Nothing is leaking here, it's a good sign. And, wow, this is pretty smashed up. We have pound cake. So I was kind of looking forward to that, but unfortunately, yeah, this is really good. It just looks like some of the components that were in here at one point must have been compressed, and they basically did a number on the poor pound cake. So it just says pound cake on the front. On the back we have the date code of 3203, and also the fact that it's a pineapple pound cake. Now we have some charms. Oh, here's the one thing. It said nothing had leaked in this. Looks like it's, I shouldn't have said that. We have charms here that are soft, unfortunately. And they have just leaked a little bit. It looks like it got onto the bag with a spoon, but nothing, it didn't really get anything sticky in here, but I don't know if you can see on the packaging, it's just starting to leak out of there a little bit, so those probably aren't going to be any good, but it's too bad. Anyway, charms. The MRE spoon and accessory packet. The date code on it of 3234. It has AD. I'm not sure if that's accessory packet A. I thought it was supposed to be accessory packet C. But let's see what's in here. Okay, we have, oh wow, this is interesting. We don't have any coffee, but we do have the iced tea drink mix and spiced cider. It's sort of surprising that by 2003 they weren't including more beverages in the actual MRE itself. And this one, it depended on the accessory pack to give you 2 drinks. So a moist towelette, salt, seasoning blend, salt-free, toilet paper, matches, and some chewing gum. And there's an odd smell emanating from the accessory pack. I'm guessing it's either from the cider or from the tea. It's not bad, it's not the smell of the gum. It's sort of a chemically kind of fruity sort of flavor. Alright, and here are all the components in this 2003 menu number 11 pasta with vegetables. I'm hoping that everything's going to be okay. I mean, it's hard to tell, this is a 15-year-old MRE at this point. I'm figuring the applesauce is probably going to be kind of dark, but if everything was stored okay, hopefully everything will be edible. And I can't say I'm expecting too much from the charms, as they've obviously melted a little bit, because those are just a sugary candy. It's not like it's any big deal if they go bad. And the pound cake is smashed, but it is still in the retort pouch, so it should be fine. I guess the biggest concern I have is the 2 drink mixes, because they're not in retort pouches, they're just in those foil-lined paper pouches that you find in the accessory packs. And the smell from those, it's probably the cider, but the smell from those is definitely permeating everything, and that's pretty much all I can smell right now. So let's go ahead and start checking all this stuff out and see how it did survive. And first off, we'll heat up the entree, or attempt to heat it up. Not only are we going to find out how well the entree stood up to 15 years, but we're also going to get a chance to try out this 15-year-old flameless ration heater and see if that is still working. And one good sign is I'm not seeing a lot of iron filings coming out of the heating element. There's a few there, but not too many. And I'll give this a little bit of time to let the water hopefully activate the heating elements. And we'll see if this is working. Alright, so it's been a few minutes, and this really isn't doing anything. I ended up adding a little bit more water, just to make sure that the elements are wet, and they're plenty wet. The slightest bit of sound coming off of it, but no heat whatsoever. So that's the bad news. The good news is this gives us an opportunity to try the salt test. A lot of people will put salt in new flameless ration heaters. I like to give them a chance first, and then we can actually see what the effect is, because this, I know, is a dud. I mean, this thing, it's probably been about 5 minutes. I'm giving it way too much time. And there's absolutely no heat coming off at all. So, I'm going to put some salt in here. Give it a good amount. And I mix it in with the water here. And we'll try this again. Give this another little bit of time and just see if we have any luck. And no, I guess it's safe to say that this is a complete dud. Even with the salt, there's still nothing coming off of this, which is fine. I mean, flameless ration heaters really only last about 5 years. I've had some that were a lot older that still managed to work, but you don't have high expectations when they're 15 years old, so that's all right. So I guess that means we're not going to need to use our rock or something today. And I'm going to heat the entree up a little bit in some hot water. At least it'll be a little bit warmer. Next we're going to check out our applesauce. This has very few ingredients in it. Apples, maltodextrin, water, sugar, and ascorbic acid. Here's the nutrition facts if you want to see those. And let's see what kind of shape this is in. Let's see. It's not looking great, but it smells okay. And this is just plain applesauce. It's not raspberry or something like that. So it's obviously got a pretty good amount of discoloration there, but that's not too surprising for applesauce that's 15 years old. It's nice that it still smells good. And actually, it doesn't really even smell like it's fermenting. Let's see what the crackers are like. And they smell just fine. There's the peanut butter that's been sitting in that package for 15 years. We'll give that a good knead. Make sure it's all mixed up. And this is actually, I can actually hear the fact that this is delaminating. Yeah, the outer layer is about ready to come off. So we had delamination. I thought there was something else too, but we have the delamination issue on the peanut butter, which shouldn't really be a big issue on the inside. Let me just knead this up though. And yeah, the crackers were the other item that was showing just a little bit of delamination issue on the packaging, but I really had to pull that apart. The peanut butter, it didn't seem to be too bad. Once you started kneading it, I don't know how well you can see this, but that the outer layer is coming off, the plastic layer here. I think I can actually separate it. So I guess this would be considered an early sign of concern. I mean, there's nothing. Obviously, the retort pouch itself is still intact. Nothing's leaking, but it's definitely a sign of age. But let's see how the peanut butter inside is doing, as that's what we're most concerned with. And that seems to look just fine. Actually, it smells just fine too. There's a very peanutty kind of smell to it. And we'll check out our poor smashed up pound cake. I wonder, this actually looks like it might have been the bowl of the spoon. Yep, actually, here's the spoon was lying right here apparently, with some large force pressed down on it. And I'm not, oh, this might be the charms. That could be what that is. We'll get evidence there. But whatever it is, it probably did a number on this poor pound cake. And let's see. It smells good. Yeah, it's still intact. Wow, that's impressive. It withstood all that punishment. I mean, you can see it was smashed in, but it's still whole. All right, I'm going to attempt to open up these charms. See if there's any chance of tasting these at all. Not looking good so far. Oh, that's interesting. Not really sure if I'm going to be able to get into that packaging or if it's even worth trying. It's basically just a big sticky mess right now. All individually wrapped too. Now I'll try out these beverages. And I'm still not exactly sure which one of these it is that I'm smelling, but I'm going to try them out. They still seem to be powder, which is a good sign. The spice cider says to add 6 to 8 ounces of hot water, and the iced tea makes 8 ounces. I actually like having the spice cider cold, but since it does say to add hot water, we'll go ahead and do what the instructions say. It smells good. Iced tea doesn't smell like too much, but it doesn't smell bad. That's the good thing. All right, hot water for the cider. And cold water for the iced tea. And since you don't get coffee, obviously making it this way does give you a hot beverage. And I do like both of these drinks. They're things that you don't find in MREs anymore, but they were. It's always nice to get these, especially if they're still good. And that just leaves us with our pasta with vegetables and tomato sauce, which is pretty warm from the hot water. And this package actually, it looks like it's threatening to have some delamination issues too. It's still solid, but it looks like it may be getting towards the end of its life cycle. It smells pretty good. Well, that doesn't look too bad. In addition to this, looks like we got rotini for the pasta, And it's definitely in a tomato sauce. You can see some tomatoes in there. And then the vegetables, I see a carrot here, some peas, some pretty good sized green beans, and mushrooms. Wow, is a huge mushroom. So for something that sounds pretty boring, it doesn't look all that bad. But now comes the true test, and we'll go ahead and give it a taste. And we'll go ahead and start off with our entree. What the heck is this? Okay, a little bit scared there for a second. But there's definitely a good amount of vegetables in there. I think I see some corn too. Yeah, everything I mentioned, plus red and green peppers. I think I see a little bit of that in there too. This is one of the carrots here. You know, this really isn't too bad, for considering it's been stored for 15 years, sitting in that retort pouch. The pasta is definitely a little bit on the mushy side. It's kind of hard to blame that. I mean, it's been in the sauce for all this time. But I didn't really have a lot of... I've never had this one before, and I didn't really give a lot of thought to it. It's just seemed pretty boring. But it's really not all that bad, considering it's vegetarian, and I'm not vegetarian. I originally thought I might send this along to animal-free MRE, but I didn't really want to expose them to 15-year-old MRE, just in case. I don't want to make anybody sick. But this is pretty good, and Ben, if you're watching, this is one to look into. I just like how it's not just little bits of vegetables. It's like the actual pieces of corn, pieces of carrot, and the green beans. It's really not bad at all. But of course, at the same time, not a ton of flavor. The good thing is there's nothing bad about it. Nothing tastes off or anything like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of this seasoning blend, salt-free. Which actually has a lot of natural stuff in it too, a lot of vegetable kind of things. And just see how this affects the taste. Yeah, that's nice too. It's a little gives it a little bit of extra flavor. It's not doesn't change the flavor profile. It's not spicy or anything, but it's a little bit on the bland side, so that does kind of make it a little bit more flavorful. We could add salt too. I suppose since my salt packet's already open, might as well go ahead and do that. MRE entrees obviously have a lot of sodium. It's not necessarily a great idea to be adding salt to something that has that much salt in it already. But if you do find it bland, you have to do what you have to do. And that combination of the salt-free seasoning blend and salt, ironically enough, is really good. Let's go ahead and try out this applesauce. See how edible this is, if at all. It doesn't seem to be too bad. Like I said, it doesn't taste like it's fermenting, but it also doesn't taste great either. Which you wouldn't expect 15-year-old applesauce to be great anyway. So I think in a pinch, if you were in an emergency situation and this was all you had, you could probably eat this just fine. In fact, it's... Yeah, there's no warning signs there. It still tastes like applesauce. Try some of the iced tea. I probably could have gone with less than the 8 ounces of water, make it a little bit stronger. But that's good. The lemon is still coming through. It definitely has an artificial, almost chemical kind of taste, but it doesn't taste like it's turned and gone bad or anything. Let's try the crackers with peanut butter. Have a little bit of the cracker first. And it just tastes like your standard MRE cracker, which is what you expect, and that's great. It's always the funniest with these MRE crackers and peanut butter. You get all excited to have a boring taste, because if it's boring, then that means it's good. And the peanut butter is good. It's just fine. It's amazing how long that can last. It's a great treat. And I suppose we should reserve some of this cracker for the pasta. So we can gundog it up just a little bit and put it in the part that has the spice and the salt. So, as I said, the pasta's a little on the mushy side. Not bad, but a little bit. And the overall taste is a little on the bland side. Again, not bad, but a little bit. So you add the seasoning blend, you add some salt, and now we're adding a little crunch. And that's good. And we'll try the cider. Let's see if this held up as well. Ooh, that's really good. It tastes perfect. It tastes like it's always supposed to taste. Right after you swallow it, there might be a little bit of a almost metallic aftertaste, which does kind of spoil the experience, but the overall taste is fine. Yeah, that's unfortunate, that aftertaste. Let's try a little bit more of this tea to wash that down. That seems to have held up a little bit better. And that leads us to our pound cake, which is something I'm always looking forward to. It's definitely on the dry side. The oxygen absorber seems to have been doing a good job. Nothing appears off about it. There's no discoloration, no mold, obviously. And it's not very spongy like you would normally expect a MRE pound cake to be. But it does seem to be fine. And other than being a little bit dry, it's not bad. Yeah, the dryness is a bit of a disappointment, but at least it's not rancid, it's not bad or anything. It's actually quite good. And these charms, I think, are a lost cause. I'm not even really gonna bother, but you can see what you'd get with that. And I guess we can finish off by checking out the gum and see how that survived. So it was a good bellwether. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's not much harder than it would be brand new. And it doesn't kind of like break up into a powder and then turn back into a gum. It really seems fresh. So let's look at a menu number 11 pasta with vegetables from 2003. And overall, I was very impressed with how everything held up. Visually, the applesauce doesn't look that great, but it seems to taste fine, as a matter of fact. Well, this would be some apple and pineapple. And everything else seems to be good. You don't necessarily want to be eating something that's 15 years old, but as I said, in a pinch, if you really had to, this could keep you alive. And I don't think it'll make you sick. I guess I'll probably find out in a few hours, but it seems like everything's fine. So, thank you for watching, and bon appetit.